Yes.
Hello.
Pretty babes, link up, pretty babes. Oh God.
is not gender based. Envy doesn't have any gender, but it's more pronounced because as women we really are emotional humans, so we can't help it. So even if we're feeling something about someone, we're going to express it with our faces. And when you see somebody who is overly excited around you, especially if your intuition is right, you can probably tell, okay, this is wrong and that's not wrong. But I think how you can tackle that, I'm going to just pull up a word that I learned in meditation. I didn't know about the word itself, I just knew that it was an act, and it's called mudita. Mudita here is, and this is it really, yeah. Yes, so mudita. Okay, is any camera got it? Okay, cool. So mudita is the practice of cultivating appreciated joy at the success and good fortune of others. I'm going to read another definition, and by the way, it's pronounced mudita. And it's a noun, sympathetic joy, the experience of happiness upon seeing someone else's happiness, the opposite of FOMO. FOMO is the fear of missing out. And that's why I said I feel like support is not gender-based. Women, we just talk a lot, men internalize. You know, if you're able to practice mudita every day, you would find yourself not only being happy for others, you also find yourself experiencing joy. Your brain, your body doesn't know whether the joy is coming from something that you achieved. It just knows it's joy. What your brain does is it releases certain chemicals like oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, and this is what the brain really processes. Not whether you got a house, whether you got your job, whether you got anything. It doesn't really. Yes, you can, because you're a spirit being, you can identify that. But your brain knows that these hormones have been injected to it, so it has to behave that way. And that's why some certain people would take it. People like me, I would get it, derive it from the gym. I would go to the gym. I will read books just to make sure I'm in that constant state. So if you practice mudita, which is basically looking at someone else's joy, and instead of saying, I want that for myself, because that could even destroy you. Sometimes you want what other people have, but that could literally be the end of you. If it's not for you, then it wouldn't come to you no matter what you do. You know, so just expressing that. And before you know what's happening, when you live a life of joy, where everything comes from love, everything comes from peace, decisions are made from that place, everything just sits in. So first things first, in order not to compare, and in order to support another woman, another human being, first, work on your mental, work on your frame of mind, work on your mantras, your affirmations, and what you do. I believe in meditation, and that's where it starts. So as women, we don't talk about self-care a lot, but we don't understand that a lot of our decisions is deeply rooted inside of us, and what we've done constantly since we were young. We've probably watched everybody around us. Wait till she gets safe, it sticks. Wait till she gets safe when you have 12, it sticks. 17, 18, 19, 25, you start seeing yourself saying, wait till she gets safe. It's from there. So let's heal, let's work on meditation, and everything is not blue or white. Sometimes it's just, you just find certain things, so,
I like that.
Yeah.
It's not gender-based. I like that. I think that's what I'll take away. You wanted to mention something? If you want to help.
Yes.
Just a bit of what you shared with us.
Okay, so what I shared, I can't remember everything. But yeah, we just talked about being women and navigating the challenges, and of course doing our best to ensure that we're presenting our best selves forward in current society.
So how do women accelerate the action we're talking about? How do we accelerate the action we're talking about? Probably for you that is
we start with ourselves. We answer the hard questions for ourselves, and we put our best foot forward in everything that we do, because as women we're incredibly talented and we're incredibly gifted as much as we can do. So just that. Yeah, support each other. We can.
Another question to ask. Given the opportunities that you've encountered, given the experiences that you've experienced before getting to where you are, how do you mentor those women? And what do you think you could pass across to everyone to attain the heights that you've attained?
Thank you for that question. So, first, stay true to yourself, discovering yourself, and following what you really, truly should be doing. Sometimes as women, we get waved off by what we see the other person doing. We see someone, we see Nancy now. So I wanted to be an astronaut before, but because I see Nancy this way, I'm actually going to be an actor. And then with that, you might experience difficulty because you're not going to flow what you really want to do. So first, I didn't know what you want to do. And then just making your own path. Forget about what Nancy did. What you can really see is that Nancy works. Nancy puts her best foot forward. Nancy makes sure that she's there. Then you just apply that to your own life. Apply that to your work ethics. You don't have to do what I did because chances of it working for you is slim to none. So create your own path.
Reflection.
I wouldn't say employing more women. I'll say employing more capable hands, regardless of gender. If a woman is good at her job, give her the job. If a man is good at the job, give him the job. If you have candidates, if you have 10 candidates and 9 women were good, just one man was good, give the 9 women who deserve that position without bringing what the woman or what the man is in front. So it's not, for me, it's not about like empowering. It's just first, let's think about empowering people fairly. Truly fairly, and that's why I always speak about starting with yourself. So if you really truly believe in empowering people, definitely with people, there's men and there's women, and if you're empowering women and empowering the men, it works. So for sure, I think Bibi is doing a great job, and I think.
Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. We all know that March is like a month dedicated to celebrating women, and of course Nancy Isime was on UBA's group International Women's Day Business Series panel where she spoke about her experience in the industry, and the topic was against all odds, the impact of women. She shared her story, her experiences, challenges, and answered insightful questions. And of course, Funke also had her own event, a different event with the likes of Larry da Silva, Ajayi, Waje. The beautiful thing about events like this is we get to hear from people. We get to hear from people who are doing so well now, but they have also had their struggles in the past. A lot of times people tend to be like, oh no, this person has a perfect life, but until we get to know them personally, we may never get to know their struggles, or let's not, aside knowing them personally, maybe until they tell us their stories. There are people like the other day, the CEO of Beauty by AD, shared her struggles. I was shocked. Raised in a polygamous home, she ran away from home because her mom left her and her sister and left to where God knows. Life was a living hell that she had to flee from home. Imagine being from a polygamous home and your mom is not in the house to protect you. You know how hellish it can be. So we also had Waje, Funke Akindele, Larry da Silva, Ajayi at an event organized by Unilever PLC in honor of the international.
Are you ready to go? Creative blueprint! Yay! Accelerating action!
Mariam, acclimatization of the government to those new ideas.
Thank you so much, Funke, for that question. First, I would like to thank the convener of today.
I work in a market that is, the luxurious part of fashion, right? And for the longest time, you hear people complain about not being able to pay a certain price for fashion, especially if it's made in Nigeria. But I to a point where
to speak indigenous Yoruba, not just to speak Yoruba. I can speak Yoruba anytime, but to speak indigenous Yoruba. She was playing Yoroja, the great book by.
Hello everyone, can we give her a round of applause?
Thank you.
I'll skip the intro because it was already said, but we all know who Shaffy Bello is. We've seen the movies.
I work in a market that is, you know, the luxurious part of fashion, right? And for the longest time, you hear people complain about not being able to pay a certain price for fashion, especially if it's made in Nigeria. But I feel like we've grown to a point where